乐龄领时朋友们、同胞们，大家早上好。My grassroots leaders, led by Mr. Goh Peng Tong, all our grassroots leaders, our HDB officers, led by Mr. Loh Luk Tong, NTUC Elder Camp, Shirley and all her staff, and all the hardworking grassroots and community volunteers who are here today. First of all, let me say that my wife and I are very happy to be here today. As usual, we are happy to meet everyone, but today we are also very happy because we are about to launch the Senior Activity Center. This Senior Activity Center is part of what we are doing in Taman Jurong and also for the whole of Jurong GRC to make sure that all our senior citizens get the best care that is possible in Jurong, just like the rest of Singapore. And in Jurong we have many elderly people because it is a mature estate, not so young estate. So we have many elderly people and we want to make sure that we provide the best care possible. So how will we do it in Jurong? And in fact, Taman Jurong as well. First of all, we make sure that not so far from the home, we have medical care available to our elderly. And in Taman Jurong, we have the NTUC Elder Care running what they call the Silver Ace, which is the day rehabilitation center for those who have problems medically or they have a problem with the arm or the leg. Every day they can go there and exercise, get support from the nurses, and get other types of medical help quite close to the home. That's number one. Number two, we make sure that every year, a few times, we will provide medical screening very close to the home as well as house to house. In Taman Jurong, we've been doing this now for 6 years. House to house medical screening with the help of our medical students and doctors at NUH. This is a wonderful scheme. We've been able to help many of the residents. Sometimes they don't know they have a problem, but with the medical screening, we can help to give them advice, make sure they go to hospital, make sure they are supported, make sure they take their pills and medication. So that's number two, medical screening. Number three, which is very important, is something like this, Senior Activity Center, where every day, the elderly, especially those with lower incomes, they can drop in, get some help. Social services, other types of help. Those who need some advice, they can get some advice. And very important is to help people to make friends and meet each other every day and pick up a hobby. Every one of us likes a hobby. Some of us like to make things, some of us like to read, some of us like to chit-chat, some of us like to play chess or play mahjong. Many hobbies. And the Senior Activity Center will be a center for the elderly in this area, for these blocks, about 300 to 400 elderly, which they can use like their own clubhouse. It will be a clubhouse for the elderly in this part of Taman Jurong. And we will do the same thing in other parts of Jurong. This is what we call in Singapore the wellness program, where we make sure that wherever our senior citizens are, their health is taken care of, they have friends, they are active, they can learn dancing, they can learn games, they can learn to make things. And our Senior Activity Center is part of that program. Next, we also want to make sure that in the whole of Jurong, we provide inside the HDB flat and outside, everything must be very friendly to the elderly people. An elderly-friendly environment. Everything must be friendly. When you want to open your door, you want to open the tap, it must be elderly-friendly. Instead of a difficult knob, we have a lever. That's inside the house. Outside the house, make sure that it's all barrier-free. You can use a wheelchair, you can use the walking aids, very easy to get around. And the whole of Jurong last year was already barrier-free, 1 year ahead of our schedule. So outside the flat and inside the flat, it must be very easy to move around. And the new HDB flats that we have, for example, Block 337, 338, 339, and some of the other new flats, inside the flat, it's also very elderly friendly. The corridors are wider, the toilet is bigger, it is easier for old people. So that's the next way in which we want to help, the fourth way. The fifth way is we're going to have Jurong Hospital, what we call Ng Teng Hong Hospital, not so far in Jurong East, and just beside it you will have a community hospital, which will help all our elderly, those who are not having critical illnesses but need some health support. They can go to the community hospital. Plus in Taman Jurong we have West Point Hospital, of course. And those with low income, don't worry, come and see us. We'll make sure we support you because we have a special relationship with West Point Hospital. But the most important thing is that we must be one community. And that is the number six way in which we help everyone. We have many volunteers, young volunteers, not so young volunteers. They will work closely with NTUC Elder Care that will run the Senior Activity Center. They work closely with all our residents to make sure that everyone has friends, everyone has neighbors who can help them, and we are all one family. Chinese, Indian, Malay, Eurasians, everyone one family in Taman Jurong. That is what we have been doing all these years, and we want to do even better in the years to come. So I'd like to thank everyone involved in today's event, HDB for taking care of the architectural work together with our volunteers and to supervise the construction, MCYS for sponsoring a lot of the costs of the Senior Activity Center and for overseeing the project, NTUC Elder Care, which will be running the Senior Activity Center, and all our community volunteers who have put a lot of effort into this. A wonderful bunch of people, but they are here to serve you and make sure that everyone is happy. Everyone can be happy as they get older and know that we are all one family in Taman Jurong. So once again, thank you very much. 祝大家身体健康。